federal capital of the country has remained a COVID-19 hotspot for quite some time now. The coronavirus cases and deaths rising, the government is poised to declare health emergency in the capital as a counter-strategy to stem the spread of the dreaded virus. The drastic measures follow as public movement is likely to increase after the Dasai break. Good morning, I'm Sarah Chitrakar and these are the top stories of the hour. After an 11-day lull, Chairman duo of the ruling NCP hold a dialogue. Executive Chairman Dahal urges the Prime Minister to summon the secretariat meeting. 17 more deaths take the COVID-19 death tally to 937. The government poised to bring an action plan to counter COVID-19 in the federal capital. About 1,200 development projects handed over to the provincial government stranded as they wait for budget sanction from the centre. And Sunrisers Hyderabad registered 2 crucial points against RCB to keep their playoff berth alive. The novel coronavirus has continued its surge as a total of 2,508 new cases of COVID-19 were confirmed yesterday, taking the total case tally to 170,743. The death tally, meanwhile, has climbed to 937 as 17 more deaths related to COVID-19 were reported yesterday. According to the Health Ministry, a total of 9,279 swab samples were tested yesterday, taking the test tally to over 1.44 million. 1,357 cases were reported from the federal capital as Kathmandu district confirmed 1,113 cases, while Lalitpur reported 195 and Bhaktapur witnessed 49 cases. Likewise, 2,264 individuals registered full recovery yesterday, taking the national recovery tally to 131,222, while the recovery rate has climbed to 76.9%. According to the Health Ministry, there are over 38,000 active cases in the country, with 7,576 in isolation centres, 31,008 in home isolation and 2,410 corona patients in various quarantine facilities. The ministry informed that 69 patients are receiving treatment with ventilator support, while 296 are in intensive cares. The government has started preparation to bring a separate action plan to the country to counter the spread of coronavirus infection in Kathmandu Valley. At a time when hospitals in the valley are running out of beds, the Health Ministry is planning to launch what it says a targeted action plan in the valley. An official in the ministry informed that the action plan will mainly focus on controlling infection and preventing deaths. The number of coronavirus cases in Kathmandu Valley has crossed over 76,000, out of which 53,000 have been added in the past 1 month. Likewise, 354 corona patients have already succumbed to the virus in the federal capital. Most of the infected people in the capital are in home isolation. Keeping in mind the dire situation, the ministry is preparing to bring a valley-centric action plan, projecting that the number of the cases could rise in coming days with increased public movement and the start of the winter season. According to the ministry source, the government is also poised to declare health emergency in the Kathmandu Valley. Executive Chairman of the ruling Nepal Communist Party, Pushpa Kamal Dahal, has proposed Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli to summon the Secretariat Committee meeting at the earliest. Executive Chairman Dahal called on Prime Minister Oli at his official residence, Balwata, this afternoon as the meeting between the two top leaders was held after 11 days. Executive Chairman Dahal had distanced himself from Chairman Oli since the recent political turmoil in Karnali province and cabinet reshuffle, among other issues. According to a source, Prime Minister Oli has taken the proposal positively. However, the date of the meeting is yet to be fixed as disputes have escalated at the NCP leadership. Leaders close to Prime Minister Oli had gone to Executive Chairman Dahal's Kumaltar residence in a bid to build some rapport yesterday. However, Executive Chairman Dahal, during the meeting with various leaders, including General Secretary and Finance Minister Bishnu Paudel, Deputy Leader of Parliamentary Party Subhash Nembang and Chief Minister of Lumbini Province Shankar Pokhrel, had been showing his reluctance to visit Balwatar under various pretexts. Three major political parties represented at the parliament have ad hoc leaderships. Despite declaring the General Convention for April next year, the ruling Nepal Communist Party have not started preparations yet. The main opposition, Nepali Congress, has its elected leadership. However, it has extended its Central Working Committee for a year as per the status after failing to convene the General Convention. It is still unclear when the ad hoc-led Janta Samajwadi Party and Rashtriya Prajatantra Party will convene their General Convention. The ruling NCP has fixed the date of the General Convention from 7th to 12th of April next year. However, the party is unlikely to hold the convention on the slated date as the Central Committee meeting scheduled to convene from today has been deferred by a month. The dispute between the two chairmen in recent days has cast doubt over the timely holding of the convention. Likewise, the date of the 14th General Convention of the main opposition Nepali Congress was announced some 9 months ago to be held from 19th of February next year. However, the party has failed to make minimum groundwork. Party structure has not been transformed according to the federal system, while the issue of active membership has become further complicated. The Nepali Congress Party leadership has already reached a mindset to defer the convention, citing the coronavirus pandemic, instead of gearing up for the convention by setting the ongoing intra-party disputes. Meanwhile, following the unification between Rashtriya Janata Party and Samajwadi Party, Janta Samajwadi Party became the third largest party in the parliament. The party was supposed to hold its General Convention within a year of its formal unification, meaning that the party should carry out the job by mid-July next year. However, the party is yet to form structures at the district level. Meanwhile, having a single seat in the parliament, the Rashtriya Prajatantra Party is also going through similar conundrum. Despite overlooking the selection process of leadership through the General Convention, these major political forces, however, have not stopped adopting the slogan of democracy and political stability. The General Convention is a mandatory process in democratic parties. However, as experts have opined, these parties have made a mockery of democratic values by remaining content with ad hoc leadership and avoiding general conventions. About 1,200 development projects handed over to the provincial government have been stranded. The provincial governments, meanwhile, have denied moving ahead with the projects, citing lack of budget from the centre. As the development projects are in a state of limbo, youths across the country have been forced to go to Indian cities in search of jobs in recent days. There are many big and small projects in provinces that have been stranded as the provincial governments fail to take ownership of these projects despite being handed over by the central government. On the contrary, the provincial governments have been arguing that the central government has not released enough budgets to move ahead with these projects. During his meeting with Finance Minister Bishnu Paudel, Chief Minister of Gandaki Province, Priti Subba pointed towards wastage of millions of investment made so far if the central government failed to provide enough budgets. The other provinces are also following suit on demanding budget from the centre. It may be recalled that some 1,190 projects were handed over to the provincial government from the secretary level decision last September. Following the mounting pressure from the provincial government, the Finance Ministry has corresponded with concerned ministries to provide details of such projects within a week. The obstacle seen in these domestic projects has also compelled many youths from the country to go to Indian cities despite the surging coronavirus. Experts opine that there is no alternative for both the central and provincial governments to move these projects forward without any delay rather than indulging in blame game. Local residents in Taplijung, what should be done to promote rural tourism hit hard by the coronavirus pandemic? Let's take a look at what they had to say.
Public voice.
तत्कालै पर्यटन सोझै अब नभित्रिए तापनि त्यसको आधारहरू निर्माण गर्ने त्यसको इन्डिकेटरहरू चाहिँ हामीले अपनाइरहेका छौं।
अहिले यो कोरोनाको महामारी छ, यसको बारेमा स्वास्थ्यको ख्याल राख्नु पर्यो। त्यो ख्याल राख्दै गर्दाखेरि हामीले हाम्रो ग्रामीण समुदायमा उत्पादित सामानहरू यसलाई व्यवस्थित गर्नु पर्यो।
अहिले व्यवस्थापन पनि गर्नुपर्ने हुन्छ, सँगसँगै सरसफाइ पनि गरिराख्न सकियो भने राम्रो हुन्छ र फुर्सदको समयमा चाहिँ जहाँ ग्रामीण पर्यटन क्षेत्रमा राम्रो तरिकाले कसरी सफलतापूर्वक सञ्चालन गरिरहेका छन् इमेल इन्टरनेटबाट सर्च गरेर त्यहाँको बारेमा बुझ्ने, सूचना सङ्कलन गर्ने, त्यही अनुसारको आफ्नो ठाउँको वातावरण भूगोल सुहाउँदो खालको चाहिँ व्यवस्थापन गर्न सकियो भने पक्कै राम्रो हुनेछ।
सङ्क्रमणको बेला छ, संरचनामै ध्यान दिनुपर्छ।
उत्पादनका हिसाबले स्थानीय उत्पादनहरूलाई बढी प्राथमिकता दिने, स्थानीय संस्कृतिहरूको प्रवर्धन गर्ने, स्थानीय परिवेशमा भएका प्राकृतिक सम्पदाहरूलाई पर्यटक माझ पुर्याउने र हाम्रो क्षेत्रमा भएका स्थानीय उत्पादनका विषयवस्तुहरूलाई बजारीकरण गर्ने, यी चारवटा विषयवस्तुलाई प्राथमिकीकरण गर्यो भने मलाई लाग्छ ग्रामीण पर्यटनको प्रवर्धनका लागि यो कोरोना महामारीका बीच पनि एउटा नयाँ पर्यटन प्रवर्धन क्षेत्रको सृजना हुन्छ।
जति पनि बजेटको कार्यक्रममा चाहिँ ग्रामीण क्षेत्रमा चाहिँ पर्यटनलाई चाहिँ प्रवर्धन गर्नको लागि चाहिँ ग्रामीण क्षेत्रमा जुन ठाउँमा चाहिँ जे सम्भावना रहेको छ त्यसलाई चाहिँ अध्ययन गरेर सोही अनुसारको चाहिँ नीति तथा कार्यक्रमहरू बनाएर चाहिँ बजेटहरू ल्याएर चाहिँ कार्यक्रम गर्न सक्यो भने चाहिँ ग्रामीण स्तरको पर्यटन चाहिँ एकदमै राम्रो हुन्छ जस्तो लाग्छ मलाई।
It's time now for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
Here's the question: who is at fault for the development projects handed to provinces being stranded? Your options are A, central government, B, provincial government, and C, bureaucracy. The voting is on. Type NEWS, select your option A, B or C and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. And those were our latest headlines. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.